Hey guys, it's Vanessa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing with you another What's for Dinner where I show you what I feed my blended family of 6 from Monday to Friday, or this week from Sunday to Thursday. First up is Sunday. We are having Mexican tortilla soup from the Mitchell's Soup Company. These soup kits are super easy, you guys, and I highly recommend them. This is probably the 4th one that I've tried so far, and I can't wait to try more. All I needed was a can of diced tomatoes, some taco seasoning. You can add ground beef to this, but I chose to keep it vegetarian. I'm also going to dice up an onion and add some salt and pepper. Now the first step on here, which are listed very clearly on the back of the bag, is to add your beans to 10 cups of water. I opted to do 8 cups of water and 2 cups of chicken broth. I figured the extra flavor couldn't hurt. So I went ahead and pinched the bag off at the beans, added them to the water, salted the water, and I cooked these for about 1 hour. Going to go ahead and prep my onion and dice it up into small bite-sized pieces. Also, before adding the rest of my soup mix, I decided to add some more chicken broth just to top up my liquid that had got lost while I was cooking the beans. I'm just going to add this entire can of tomatoes, juice and all, the onions, and the remainder of the mix along with that packet of taco seasoning. Now for the taco seasoning, it does say to mix it in with the ground beef, but I opted to just add it in here for extra flavor. Again, didn't think it could hurt, and I added this can of corn, which it didn't call for, but again, more flavor. Once you bring it all up to a pretty good boil, go ahead and cover it and simmer it for up to 2 hours. It does suggest to soak your beans or cook them longer if you want them to be a little softer. In the future, I probably would do that. Certain ones had a little more bite than I would have liked. Okay. Sounds like tacos. This is one I will certainly be repurchasing. We ate it for days later as chili, as a dip, with nachos. It was perfect, you guys. I recommend this. This was supper for Sunday night. All right, for Monday, we had pressure cooker pork chops with mushroom gravy, or smothered pork chops, as some people like to call them. Here, I just have 3 pork loin chops. I have some chicken broth, some cream of mushroom soup. You could use cream of chicken if you'd prefer, some sour cream, salt, pepper, and olive oil. And how could I possibly forget the onion? And to go on the side with this, I'm going to go ahead and cook up some of the quinoa that I bought that was 3 for $9.99 on one of my grocery hauls. Super excited to give this one a try. Now, I own a Ninja Foodie, but I'm sure you could do this in an Instapot or any other version of these. I just need to turn it on to the saute function and add a little bit of olive oil. So I was actually super impressed with how simple and quick this quinoa came together. You just have your package of quinoa and then your package of seasoning. I went ahead and boiled my water, added everything to it once the water is boiling, let it simmer for 20 minutes. Super easy and actually really, really good. The kids put soy sauce on it. It was good without soy sauce. All right, so before we brown our pork chops, I just want to salt and pepper them. So all I do is salt and pepper them in the package, lay them down on that end, and then re-salt and pepper the other side once they're inside my foodie or your Instant Pot. I'm going to brown those. While they're browning up, I'm going to go ahead and dice up my onion. Actually, I don't dice it. I chop it into slices. Now, you want to brown your pork chops for about 3 or 4 minutes on each side. I'm going to go ahead and remove them and add the metal insert because I'm going to set them on top to cook as opposed to kind of braising them in the liquid, if that makes any sense. anytime you're pressure cooking, you need to add liquid, usually about 1 cup. Here I'm actually adding chicken stock because we are going to be using this to make the gravy. If I wasn't, then you could easily just add water. I'm going to add the onions back to the pot along with the pork chops right on the top rack. So just don't forget to set your tab to seal. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I'm gonna pressure cook these on high for 7 minutes. The first time I did pork chops was 8, so I'm trying 7, but after having done it again, I think I might even try 6 minutes. They were a little bit dry. So I'm gonna crack open my can of cream of mushroom soup because we're gonna add that whole thing once the pork chops are done, and about 1/2 cup of sour cream. I'm also gonna chop up a cucumber to have as a side for a vegetable. So just take a look at how delicious this quinoa looks. If you're not a fan, this is the place to start. I'm telling you right now. It was so effortless and so simple and so delicious. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and crack open these pork chops. Even just looking at them, they're beautiful. It's hard to believe that this foodie can create such amazing stuff. Honestly, I'm still impressed with it. I'm gonna go ahead and add my can of cream of mushroom soup, stir that in or whisk it in as quickly as I can. And with the sour cream, I would have rather add more, but that's all I had left in my container. Essentially, all you're doing at this point is whisking it till it's thoroughly combined and heating it to a boil so that it's warmed through. You could add a thickener at this point if you wanted, but we were pretty happy with the way that it turned out. Everybody devoured them. Smothered pork chops on a Monday night were a huge hit. Tuesday's supper was all about pure comfort with spaghetti and homemade meatballs. Just like a seed. All right, so super basic ingredients. My regular sweet basil marinara sauce. I have about 1.5 pounds of ground beef here where I threw in some dried onions, paprika, garlic salt, Italian seasoning, salt, and pepper. Super simple, no fillers. I find that is the tastiest meatball. This garlic bread from Costco that I have showed you a million times. So I go ahead and start combining the meat with all the seasonings with my fork. Once most of it's in there, I get right in there with my hands. With every star, all right, all I'm doing here is using a cookie scooper to go ahead and shape out all of the meatballs and putting them into this baking dish. I just roll them in my hands. I find this method to be the quickest and most efficient. And I know when I use this baking dish, it is enough to feed my family. I'm gonna salt the water for the pasta, and also I'm cracking open a can of these diced tomatoes from Costco to add to my pasta sauce, just to thicken it up a bit since I'm using meatballs and not ground beef in my sauce. All right, now y'all know I love this garlic bread. Pardon my terrible accent, but I do. I love it. It's from Costco, $3.99 for like 24 slices, lasts forever. Go out, get it. Well, don't go out. Stay home. If you have to go to Costco for essentials, then go get the garlic bread. I'm gonna top it off with some Tex-Mex cheese. You could use mozzarella, whatever you like. This is just the one we prefer, has lots of flavor. All right, now what's the one thing I always say when cooking pasta? Add some oil to your water to make sure it doesn't stick at the end. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Here my meatballs are done. I cook these at high heat, 450 for 20 minutes. That's all it takes. That's another reason I like to do a smaller meatball so that they cook a little bit quicker. Now I'm gonna throw in my cheese toast for about 10 minutes at 425. Keep a close eye though, because it could go sooner than that. Go ahead and drain your pasta. And I should say, I didn't add the meatballs to the sauce because I figured people could add as many or as little as they'd like. Here's my finished plate. I can't tell you, even editing this right now, I wish I had some in front of me. It was so simple, but so delicious. Supper for Tuesday was amazing. Taking advantage of some beautiful weather, we hauled the barbecue out and made some burgers. All right, so we did end up having some cheddar cheese sausages as well, but I'm pretty sure Kylie was the only one who ate one. I'm gonna go ahead and dice up an onion to put on the burgers. I've got my ground beef here, our buns are ready, I've got my sweet baby Ray's hickory and brown sugar, barbecue sauce. Life can't get any better. So my burgers, a lot like my meatballs, I want super simple and unadulterated. Actually, they're a lot less than my meatballs. It's literally just the hamburger meat. I don't even salt and pepper them. I find this is the best. Often I'll use breadcrumbs, crackers, eggs, that kind of stuff when I'm trying to stretch out my meat or I have a large crowd to feed and I don't have enough. But today was not the case, so we kept it simple. Now, I remember growing up, my mom had a burger press. Do you guys have one? Now that I'm watching this, I feel like it took way longer than it should have, but I'm still happy with how they turned out. I'm gonna go ahead and slice my onion into rings because that's how we like to eat them on our burgers. So I realize that this is not a complicated meal, but here you go. I'm gonna go ahead and prep all of the vegetables to go on. So we're having onions. Now it's time to cut the lettuce. And I'm also gonna slice up a nice, beautiful, on the vine tomato. I should also mention on the plate there, I have some thick sliced and some thin sliced American cheese, or here in Canada, it's just processed cheese. Now let's pop outside and check on Jamie because he is definitely the griller of the family.
Smells good. Actually, very interesting.
Is that cheese coming out of those?
It is already. Oh my god.
They're next door, that's fine.
No, I don't. Do you want tomatoes? Onions?
Yes.
Lettuce?
Yep. Please.
He's a pretty good dad.
You just want a sausage and a bun, Kylie? Chips? Do you want tomatoes or cheese or anything on it?
No thanks.
Tomatoes or mushroom? Oh my god, mustard and ketchup?
What's that? No thanks.
Nothing? Neither?
No thanks. Nothing neither? What?
I was not feeling the sausage this night, but I was definitely craving a burger. Straight up ketchup, all of the fixings, and some pickles, obviously, and I had my dream burger. It was like we weren't even in isolation this night. It was so beautiful. The best part about this meal is we had leftovers for lunch the next day, and Belle's even gonna have a hot dog tonight. This was supper for Wednesday night. All right, last meal of the week, Thursday, fish and chips, but of course, when we have fries here, it's a la Poutine. So here you have it, the blue water seafood, English style haddock, I say is the best fish every time. It's our favorite. I'm also gonna serve it up with some French fries, the giant bag of French fries from Costco that I discovered in my freezer, a can of Saint-Hubert poutine sauce, and we just do our poutines with whatever cheese is in the fridge. Tonight, it happened to be Tex-Mex from Costco. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw this all together into the oven at around 425. I don't know about you guys, but my oven takes forever to cook French fries. I would have used my air fryer, but when you're feeding 6 people, sadly, 6 people's worth of French fries in the foodie can take an hour because I have to do it in batches. Now, if you take a close look back to most of my What's for Dinners, you'll see my trusty sidekick right by there every time. She even caught a French fry. She was super happy. Here's a quick little Ness hack for you guys. If you slice the top of your bag off, you can use it as a tie. You're welcome. Yes, my Yeti mug is back there because yes, I am drinking a coffee at supper time. It's a long day, guys. I'm trying to stay awake. If I'm telling the truth, I spent most of it in bed. I don't know if you guys have access to this sauce everywhere. I know for sure it's available on the East Coast in Canada. I don't know about the rest of Canada, but if you can get your hands on it, please do. Here's Belle's supper. She just wanted a regular poutine. And what's your favorite tartar sauce? I will not eat fish without Kraft tartar sauce. I just can't do it. Nothing else will do. I don't like homemade tartar sauce. I don't like any of it. I'm super fussy about that one. I'm gonna go ahead and add some cheese and some gravy and make the perfect meal. If you're not new to my channel and you watch my grocery hauls, you know I just bought this fish. And what did I say? That it's for nights when I can't seem to stick to my original meal plan. Well, this was one of those nights. Like I said, I spent it in bed. I was tired. It was a long day. So fish and chips and poutine was just the comfort we all needed. All right, guys, given everything that's going on right now, I am so happy that you took a minute to stop by my channel and check out what I'm feeding my family. If you want to keep seeing more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care.